Okay, take probably 100,000 on this Narc-Empath dynamic video. The one I made before when I was in the woods there in the mountains. The amount of things that got in the way of that was just incredible. At any rate, I'm not even going to talk about it this time. I'm just going to go right through. And the last one that I took, I tried to go so fast through it that I was like, what the fuck? I'm preambling on shit. So, what I wanted to point out about the dynamic, is three things. One, the mechanism. Two, the potential for redemption. And three is more of a theory based on the Seth material. Not heard of it, look it up. It's pretty brilliant. It's channeled material, but it's in the Yale Library. I mean, there was so much information to it. It's spectacular. One of the things about that Seth had talked about was when entities or entity groups or individual souls, maybe even larger like angelic entities, get too close to this sorry, fixing my nose right here. Get too close to this void space, this actual void space, which in my mind I equate to like something like the plane of inertia. Electric, dielectric, and then the plane of inertia in the middle. Maybe, maybe not. I'll have to read into the material a little deeper and see if he goes further into it so I can try to channel it. But when I did listen to it before, it was like I was seeing it. Like I felt as though another part of my soul entity had gone there and had lost some of itself in going there. Now, I'm saying this because this leads into how I feel the empath narcissist dynamic is on a higher out, or maybe let's not take higher, but an outward dimension, a more spiritual, less physical dimension. That's what might be happening. And it also might be what's happening in the twin flame dynamic, which is why a lot of times the Narc-Empath dynamic mirrors what people say this twin flame dynamic is, and why as a entity, soul, now being, identifying as an empath would pull in something like a narcissist. Perhaps it is a soul family, and perhaps it's missing parts of itself. Form follows function, right? The metaphysical comes before the physical. So if people are coming into this world with certain things in the brain that indicate a lack of emotional connectivity, a lack of imagination, which they say is connected to God source, right? Creativity, your eros, your ability to wake up passion, which is why they love an empath. They're highly connected to this really deep imaginal space. And they kind of have the proclivity to fantasize as well, but it's only in this conscious mind. It's very much in the logos. They can't seem to touch the emotional realm. Or now it's either they can't touch it and they were born without it. Some people have this flattened amygdala and pineal gland and stuff, but other ones, the shadow and the black hole of their self was so repressed and is so bad that they can't ever look at it. Like they're naming a child as bad, as so bad that it could never be looked at again. And that in itself, doing that towards a child, feels bad. So imagine you've now got this wall up between your conscious minds and your unconscious mind. You can't get to it. You as a narcissist, you as a psychopath, you as a sociopath, you as an alexithymic, you can't get there. It is too fucking dangerous. This is why that stage, if it actually does happen, is called mortification for a narcissist. It is certain fucking death. It is truly certain death. And somebody has to be brave enough to walk that. And an entity person being like that was not taught bravery. Not in that way. Now, for the empath, you got a black hole too. And the thing is why do we pull each other together? Not just soul mates, not just soul entities together, not just, oh, well, opposites attract. Sameness attracts as well. Sameness on the spiritual level attracts where it looks like opposites in the 3D, because the mechanism, that black hole, that shoving down of the void space, that eating inside of you, that need inside of you, as an empath, the narc has it too. The narc just doesn't have access to it. So an empath, you have access, but it's almost like so much access that you feel like you could take on all the pain, all the sadness, all the lack of depth, and feed it back, right? So you've got this black hole for all the dark things, because you can hold it, you can fix it, you have all the emotions, you can understand. There's all this knowing and understanding. You're like living in your own black hole, whereas they won't fucking look at it. They can't look at it. It's certain death. Now, maybe this dynamic showed up because of that certain strange spiritual fucking void space. I'd like to do a little more, I'm going to do a little more digging into that to try and see what I can come up with. But the thing is the fixing and the healing now, right? That second thing I was talking about, or redemption for both, is one with boundaries and one breaking them the fuck down. Breaking the fucking boundaries down. To both get to their correct mechanisms of the internal black hole, the internal shadow, they have to take different paths. One needs the boundaries, one needs to break them down. And they're brought together to see what the opposite fucking looks like. That soul being, before it came, they picked it. And I fucking hate saying that. But it would have to be, at least they picked it, or it's an entity thing, it's a soul thing that happens just based on force and pressure, mass and magnitude, that brings these two things together in order to coalesce again, in order to meet itself. The zero becomes the one, and the one, in order to understand each other, itself becomes the two. So I'm pretty sure this is what's going on there. I'm going to do a little bit more digging on that Seth work and the void space, because I really do feel like maybe something like this has happened to the ones that have lost something and can't touch something deep within themselves. I don't think that just happened as a humanistic thing. Although trauma has to do with how deeply we do it or not. You know, like, to what degree do we do it or don't do it based on the trauma and things that we've gone through. But there are proclivities, and I believe that form follows function. So there's something there. I'm gonna dig into that, see if we get some more videos on it. But until then, that was my little beep boop beep boop on the Narc-Empath dynamic. And holy shit, it took a lot to get it out. A lot of blocks, a lot of holdups. Anyway, take care, and don't worry too much about listening to the modern day interpretations of if you're good or bad, or victim or perpetrator, any of that kind of stuff. It kind of muddies it. Redemption is with you. Redemption is only with you. You can't make somebody want to redeem themselves. You are an inspiration, yes, to each other. But that's as far as it goes if you're not choosing to go into that dark space and really figure out what's needed. The boundaries or the breaking down of boundaries. Take it easy.